Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Truck Series fires things off for round number 4 here in season number 10, just 2 short weeks before we hit that halfway point. We've got all-star racing coming up at the Coliseum August 28th. Mark it on your calendar. That's going to be a night of fireworks. You never know what kind of in-car shenanigans you may see at the Coliseum. But first, we've got to get through tonight. Got to work our way through the Brawl for Bankhead 150 right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Drivers out there in qualifying for the moment, trying to work through the session, see who's going to walk away with the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award. Will we see yet again another new Pole Award winner? 3 different race winners, 3 different pole sitters so far this season. Will we continue that trend? Just a handful of moments before we figure things out, so as drivers finish off their qualifying, we're going to step away from the track for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your national anthem, as well as your starting lineup. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
We're so gallantly streaming, and the racket's
And we do apologize about the earlier issues, some problems here and there with iRacing. We look to have got those all situated, fixed up, and figured out. We're going to bring you back trackside after the initial start of the race. Early caution here tonight, under cautioned for the first time. Field will be double file. Doug Argabright looks like he's going to lead us back behind the pace car there. You can see him right there in that McDonald's number 41 machine. Used to seeing him at the front of the field last week at Rockingham. Remember, he was one of the front runners, walked away with yet another podium finish. We'll see if he can do it again here tonight from Atlanta. And do once again want to say my apologies. You know, sometimes technology just does what it wants to do, and sometimes it fights you and punches you in the mouth, and you got to learn to duck, dodge, and dip or something like that. I heard it on a movie. Anyways, we're going to work our way through turn number 4. Get ready to restart. Live, finally, right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, you're watching the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Truck Series. Into the new start zone on the gas and green flag flies once again here in Atlanta. Back through the field, you can see Patrick Coro right there, up 10 positions from where he qualified. So a big move early here for that 91 of Coro. You know what? Call me narcissistic, call me full of myself, but man, I love that Silverado. Absolutely looking good out there. Coro sitting in 4th. We're going to back up a little bit and bring you some more of the action all around the track right here. Argabright still running at the top. Christian Abbasi back in the front of this field. You can see that Bucky's number 45 machine sitting just in 2nd with Daniel Jensen close behind the top gun. Number 9 looking to the bottom of the racetrack. Gonna look for a position on the 28 Brian Turnowski, who's up through the middle of 3 and 4. Well, drag race across the line trying to chase down the 89 Jeffrey Engel. Single file for the most part throughout this field. We're going to check in with that 404 Dave Gage running inside of the top 10. You can see Gage, early dominator last week at Rockingham. A little bit of problems played out before him. Unfortunately, wasn't able to walk away with a win. Or was that Vegas, guys? Was that Vegas? I think that was Vegas. Previous race winner, that was Zero Energy Drink machine right behind him. The fast forward F-150 of Derek Moore looking to chase after a solid top 10 and a solid top 5. Still very early here tonight at this 1.5 mile, very treacherous D-shaped oval. We'll see if Moore or one of our previous race winners can work their way up through the field. Michael Overstreet, Alex Wiggins sitting in 11 to 12. On the track. See how they make some headway throughout this early green flag run. We're going to drop that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find your favorite driver and follow along at home, just like we do right here at the production booth. Still side by side back there with Warren Dofing sneaking into the mix is Nicholas Wing. How I say sneaking in, Wing sneakily is one of only 2 drivers in the 17 truck field that has been able to walk away with the top 5 in each of our opening 3 weeks. So we may be on the outside looking in right now, but keep your eye on that good wrench number 3. He got to bump and bang his way to the front, but watch him. I'm telling you, he's going to get there. And taking a look right there, bottom of the racetrack. 3 looking for position on the 16 up the racetrack. A little bit of a wiggle out of the back end. Somehow keeps the Ford underneath him, but low tide. Catfish Billy at the bottom. Will the good wrench number 3 get the position? Not out of 4. Momentum on the high side. Changing of the guard at the front of the field. Up the racetrack goes that 41 machine. He's been running that mid to high lane, really leaving that inside lane open for Abati, and the 45 had a look running up on the Wounded Warrior. There you can see the 51 machine. Tough break here tonight with Burlow. Caught up involved in our first and only incident here tonight. So a tough break for the shock top number 51 Chevrolet. And we got a swap now here. We can see Abati going to the top of the racetrack and Argo Bright to the bottom. And personally, I like that inside lane. Oh, trouble in the back. Trouble in the back. We've got a caution. Derek Moore's going around the 51. Looks like he may have caught another piece of the action. Burlow involved as well. My goodness. Let's go. Check the replay. Attitude up the racetrack and across the nose. Looks like he had just up the racetrack across the nose. Hard impact. You see those rear tires come up off the ground? Let's take another look at that one, man. That's a violent hit. Going by the lap machine of Burlow. There you can see the 9 still just right there, just misjudging a little bit. 16 up the racetrack. The number 9 Top Gun pressure washing machine. Nowhere to go. Really hard, heavy impact. Front end ripped off. Day basically all but done, and you can see him right there now sitting on pit lane. Tough break here tonight early for Derek Moore. We're gonna head back out front. Abati will have the race lead, so he's gonna become our new race leader. Argo Bright right behind him. Jeffrey Engel gonna stay out on the racetrack as a slew of drivers head to pit lane. And interesting enough, we got to go ahead and talk about the strategy with these 2 early cautions, right? It looks like maybe 1 or 2 drivers elected to come down pit road. They are now back behind a pit wall after that first caution. 5 sets of tires for these drivers here tonight. 5 sets of tires. Coming to pit road right now, they're going to eat up 1. That means they've got 4 left. So, how do you do it there? I mean, 25-25 sounds wonderful, but what if we get a late race caution? You're now down. You're now down a set of potentially race-winning tires. Check out the chat, Clark. What are you doing, brother? What are you doing in the chat? You're supposed to be on the track. Heard we had a brand new paint scheme on the ride for you and everything. It just couldn't quite get into the truck. And Adam, I'd have to, I would say I somewhat agree on that. I think maybe Derek expected that the 9 was going to be able to move up the racetrack a little bit with him, and maybe there wasn't going to be, any contact there because the 9 would have been able to move up, but just not quite clear for that 9 to comfortably move up the racetrack. And you know, I'm gonna chalk that up to a racing deal. Nothing malicious out of the 51 machine. Nothing malicious out of the 9. The 16 just unfortunately hard racing action right there on the racetrack. And sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield, and sometimes you're both. I know nothing about that internet, Clark, so I'm not even gonna play with that. So 2 quick cautions before lap number 20, before a quarter of the way through tonight's race. And again, already a set of tires being burnt by a handful of these drivers. Only your top 3 staying out on the racetrack. That's really going to put Jensen, Koro, Tornowski, as well as Wing and Gage. They're right there with these fresh tires on the restart. Those next 2 to 3 lines back to right around that 8th position. Gonna have to tiptoe through the tulips for a little bit here. Might have to, be careful about not stepping on their own toes here in this first initial lap or 2. But here at Atlanta, over-aggression early in the run will bite you in the rear at the end of them. Which one of these drivers is the best tire saver? Which one can get it done? We're about to find out as we get set to get back underway. Pace truck down and away as we roll into the restart zone in green. Flag flies once again here at Atlanta. Quick, easy out. Not a problem at all, man. Christian Amonte. One hell of a restart. Seriously gets away from the majority of the field as we get set to head through turns number 3 and 4. Drivers chasing after that Bucky's number 45, but looking quick on the restart, man. I believe Jensen on by Angle, Koro, and Wing to fight for position behind him. And Jensen wasting no time. We said those fresh tires were going to matter. Ooh, Abati, blinky, blinky, now you see me, now you don't. Koro, a little bit of trouble off of turn number 4, wiggled through the trioval. The 91 gonna drop back to 6th. Cutting hard at the front of the field, top of the racetrack, the 45 Bucky's machine gonna try to do what he can to salvage the run here. Much older tires, about 14 lap older tires, still hanging with it right here in second. About the run down by Dave Gage. Let's take a look. Here's the 404 down at the bottom. Looking for position on the 28 of Turnowski. He wasn't quite that far back at him now. I don't know about hitting one of Clark's. But you know what? We gotta stop. Close quarters racing action off of turn number 2. How about that Turner Trucking Company? 89 machine of Jeff right here in the mix, knocking on the door of a solid top 5 position. Just a quarter of the way through here tonight. 2 quick cautions. Argabright struggling on those much older tires. All the way back now to that 4th position, but it's a hornet's nest right behind him. He's going to have to be on defense for the rest of this run. Ooh, Abati, all sorts of out of shape. Holy jeez, did you see that? Christian Abati all out of shape behind the wheel of that Bucky's number 45 machine, the Chevy driver. Wishing he may have came and got some tires, but unfortunately, pal, you got what you got. There's no stopping now. Ooh, flipping the wall on the entry. Dave Gage going to leave a little behind. Struggling is Abati. Christian Abati struggling in that 45 machine, dropping like a rock now. Lawrence was up about 15 positions. And now, all the way back to him. Fresh tires, big time at the front of the field. Daniel Jensen stepping out to almost a 1-second advantage. There you can see that Kodak number 4. Little throwback look, paying homage here in the 10-year season for the American Sim Motor Racing League on iRacing.com. Looking clean, looking clear, the 4 looking to capitalize on a pivotal moment In tonight's race, coming to get those 4 fresh good years under caution on lap number 14. Officially a quarter of the way through tonight's race now. And side by side in the back, how about the man that was leading this race at one point in time, now battling with the 28 of Tarnowski for the 6th and 7th position. And it's going to be no battle at all. Tarnowski going to easily, quickly take that Hauck Designs number 28 truck to the 6th position. Tell you what, race fans, what do you say we jump around a little bit, have a little look around the track? Let's check in with that Turner Trucking Company number 89 machine of Jeff Ringel, clean and clear on the high side. A little bit of a wiggle to contact outside wall. Big trouble now. Big trouble out front, and it's Christian Abate. Christian Abate with trouble, gonna bring out caution number 3 here on lap number 26. Let's back it up. Let's go check the replay. It looks like Abate across the nose of 93. Almost up and over. Holy jeez. 2 big hits, 2 hard moments for 2 drivers into that outside wall off of turn number 4. Or turn 2 rather. Do we got a different, can we see a different shot of that, guys? Let's go from high above with the drone. Yeah, that's not going to be any better. All right, well, moving on, we'll head back to the front. It looks like the majority of the field is going to come down pit road. Dave Gage gambling a little bit here. And is it, oh man, see, we're going to be in our strategy bag quite a bit tonight. So race fans, if you ain't ready, go get ready while we have this brief little break and lull in the action. Go get yourself a drink, get yourself some popcorn. Maybe you like Oreos, I don't know. Takis seem to be a thing right now. I don't know. It's a matter of preference. Anyways, preferring to stay out on the racetrack and lead a lap here. The 404 Dave Gage gonna stay out on the track. Coro and Tarnowski both gonna stay out on the racetrack with them. Alex Wiggins, Nicholas Wing down 4th and 5th. On the racetrack, they have the fresh tires. So almost a mirror situation of what we seen last time will be what we see this time. About a 13 lap difference again for these drivers. There you can see the 2 wounded warriors heading back down pit road. I do believe that was the 38 of Zach Miller along with the 51 of Nick Burlow gonna head back down pit road. The 10 of Andrew McConville also back down pit road. I don't know, I mean, here you go. This is going to be at least 2 sets of tires that these guys have eaten up, so they've only got 3. If we go another 20 laps or so, they're going to want another set of tires. Gage is going to be sitting pretty here. He's definitely got that extra set built in at this point in time. A track like Atlanta, man, these restarts can make or break you. We've seen Abate trying to hold on. We've seen A.S.M.R trying to hold on. Both veterans, both very, very highly skilled drivers. Well accomplished. Multiple race-winning performances turned in by Abate, and let's not forget about A.S.M.R winning the Xfinity Series Championship last season here with the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs series. So 2 very talented drivers struggled mightily on those 13-lap old tires. Can the 404, the 91, the 28, can either of these three trucks manage to keep themselves in contention at the front with the fresh Goodyears on deck right behind them? Watch out for that 11 Canadian Tire sponsored machine. Always quick, always a problem, always a guy that you might have to work your way around to get to victory lane. Alex Wiggins gonna restart outside, second row. Into the restart zone once again on the gas and green. Flag flies. Ooh, Coro spinning those bag tires. That's going to pull Turnowski even. A little bit of a moving roadblock here now. Fourth, fifth, stuck behind the much older tires. Tough sledding here for Turnowski on the inside of the racetrack. Now Wiggins going to drop from the top down to the bottom, looking to run with that number 3 machine up. The swing looking good here. Gage likes the clean air. Woo. 3 wide for a moment off of 4. Oh, and we got a hard impact. Oh my God. Brian Turnowski. Oh my. Parts, pieces, absolutely destroyed. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of drivers going to be involved in this one. Let's take it back. Let's watch this one. 3 wide contact with Coro. The 28 going to get hooked into the outside wall. Heavy, hard impact. Big push, too, after the impact. Oh, my gosh. A lot of these drivers very lucky. They're going to make it. Oh, my gosh. Not going to miss it is Jeffrey Engel. The number 10 comes skating through, looking to miss it. Not going to be able to miss that either. Tough break for the 10 of McConville as well. Man. Engel, nowhere to go. Looking for a way to avoid disaster. But unfortunately, the chaos kicked into the door. Now that Turner Trucking Company, number 89 machine, is going to have a long stay in road. Dave Gage going to give up the race lead. He's going to come to pit road. Both drivers that stayed out with Gage, well, they were involved in that caution. The number 91 and the number 28 both going to be caught up involved. They're going to pick up the 89 and the 10. The chaos is we've got caution number 4 early here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You're watching A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Truck Series. So a little bit of an eventful night here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Brawl for Bankhead 150 truck drivers' tempers may begin to flare. You can see a little bit of connection issues there for that Kodak number 4 machine. Now you see him, now you don't. Disappearing act for the moment. Daniel Jensen looking to stabilize for his run. We'll see how that affects the rest of course of tonight's race. Still a very long way to go, race fans. Still just over 65 laps remaining. Looks like we're gonna have about 64, 63 when we go back green flag racing. So potentially from here, you're looking at a 2-stop race. If this thing goes green from here on out, you can do it on 2 stops. Come to pit road right at about lap number 56 and right at about lap number 77. Have plenty of fuel, plenty of tires to get to the end. So from here, I don't think fuel strategy is going to be a game, but the timers. Also important, especially here in Atlanta, this old school version of the track just really eats the tires up. You got to be careful about lining up that right rear. You got to be careful about overheating that right front, getting a little too much push. Excuse us, getting a little too much push in the truck can cause some issues on that right front. We've seen drivers having to deal with the loose rear of these trucks. Man, a lot of drivers, wounded warriors here tonight, man. A lot of beat up race trucks. Started tonight's race with 17 drivers. We are down to now just 14 left. On the racetrack side of the pit wall, Jeffrey Ingles still on pit road, thrashing away at his truck, trying to see if he can get his Chevy Silverado back out there to score a few points. You better tiptoe through the tulips on the gas, and away we go once again. Green flag flies at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The number 3 of Nicholas Wing. It's a good jump. Wiggins on the outside, the 9 to the inside. Then you can see Gage sitting in 4th. Parker Bright now back into 5th with Overstreet sitting 6th. In trouble for Wiggins. Wiggins dropping to 3 positions here. What is wrong with that 11 machine? Quickly dropping back to the back of the Canadian Tire sponsored number 11 machine. Argabright flirting with that high side. Almost into that outside wall, but look at the launch he gets out of 2. And after the early onslaught of trouble from 17 drivers, now down to just 8 remaining on the lead lap, Nick Burlow struggling mightily in that 51 machine. Early, hard, heavy impact, but here he is. Perseverance can pay off. Will it get him some points here tonight? Burlow sitting in 8th, but quickly losing ground to your race leaders. Nicholas Wing looking quick out front. Clean air is king, and he is showcasing that here. As he crosses line, yet another lap led for him. Argabright moves back to 2nd with Doping in 3rd. Dave Gage now sits in fourth with Michael Overstreet, fifth, Alex Wiggins, Avati, Burlow, McConville, and Coro. Round out your top 10. And there it is, flirting with that high side. And that's what you get right there. A little bit of a Darlington Stripe-esque type line there. A little bit of contact isn't going to hurt you, but you compound the problem when you do it 5, 6, 7, 8 times. You're going to eventually start to reshape those body panels down the right side of the truck. And with the aero being so big here in these trucks, I don't think you're ill-afforded to lose right side downforce. It's a breakaway at the front of the field, jailbreak if you will. Your top 4 absolutely checking out. Michael Overstreet over 1.8 back. Here you can see last week's race winner from Rockingham Speedway. He kicked it old school, but now getting kicked to the curb. Overstreet with an uphill battle to try to be our first repeat winner. Alex Wiggins, another driver that went to victory lane early this season. Wiggins looking to reclaim the spotlight, celebrating victory lane, but just starting near the front of the field on this latest restart after caution number 4. Wiggins drops to the back and drops off pace. Is this a measured approach? It looks like Gage and Overstreet both on the pit road for tires and fuel just 11 laps ago. So those two guys are going to have more tire, more fuel than Wiggins right here. I'm trying to work the angle. I'm trying to work strategy, but I don't see the advantage of dropping back here. You're not going to be able to one-stop this thing. I highly doubt you're going to one-stop this thing. Meanwhile, at the front race leader, Nicholas Wing stepping away just about a 6/10 of a second advantage battle. Right here, though, trio of trucks. Second, third, fourth, throw a blanket over them because they're all grouped together. They're going to have a little bit of a tussle here off of 2. Everybody clean and clear as Overstreet starts to make some headway, gaining a little bit of ground this last lap. Overstreet with a little bit of a run to the front now as this trio of trucks continues to battle back across the line. Lap number 47 was on the board. Clean air giving him the edge over his competition at the front of this field for Nicholas Wing. If you're looking for an edge on your competition, check out the longest running, longest standing setup shop on iRacing.com platform. Yes, indeed, that's right. Channel sponsored. Premier Racing Setups. Absolutely phenomenal. They've got one-on-one coaching. It doesn't matter what type of wheel you got. They've got some great advice, some technical aspects to help tweak your racing style to gain those precious needed hundredths of a second. If you're looking for the edge over your competition, you can check them out. Once again, that's PremierRacingSetups.com. If you can't remember the name, it's easy. Scroll down in the description, click the link, head on over to PremierRacingSetups.com. Shameless sponsor plug. Why not? That's what we do here. That's at least what I do here. Hauck Designs, one of the premier, prestigious group of painters in the business. If you're looking for a new livery, you need a new wrap, maybe you're just in the market for a new helmet. Maybe you want to get that pit crew looking a little better. They can do it all. They can set you up with some nice looking rides. That's for sure. Check them on out. Once again, that's Hauck Designs. Puppies, did somebody say puppies in August? That's right, if you're in the mood, if you're in the market. If you're looking for an amazing puppy, I tell you right now, you can head on over to Instagram, Facebook, as well as X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays. Check out Mountain Mafia Kennels, your leading American bully breeder in Western North Carolina. Champion bloodlines, tried and true. Papers on deck. Brand new litter of puppies coming from Cash and Monroe. Absolutely beautiful parents, beautiful pups. If you're in the market, if you're looking to give a special someone a special little gift, why not give them the gift of an American bully? Absolutely, an amazing breed of dogs. You can check them out once again on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That is Mountain Mafia Kennels. So we're through with the sponsors for now. Halfway through tonight's race, what do you say we get into some of our highlights and spotlights? Let's run down the field, starting at the front. Nicholas Wing showing the way for quite some time, the Owasso, Michigan native. Looking to prove that Eric Jones ain't the only one from the county that can drive. We'll see if Wing can get the job done. He's up 7 positions from where he qualified. We talked about him earlier. We said keep your eye on him, and here it is. All the eyes on him as he leads tonight's brawl for Bankhead. Right here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, we're going to move on to the man that started at the front of the field, Doug Argabright, the Los Angeles native, looking to go back-to-back podium visits on his East Coast swing. Right, looking to try to set himself up with some amazingly consistent finishes early here this season. Second and second, we'll see if Argabright can reclaim that top spot. Jane Tofing right where he qualified, sitting in the 3rd position at the top gun pressure washer. So that is not a Silverado, that is a Ford F-150. The Silverado's right behind him, but we'll get to Gage in a minute. We're going to continue to highlight Tofing here. Great little run from Jake. He needs a solid run to try to break into the top 5 in the overall point standings. So we'll see if tonight's the night that Jake can get it done. Will he bring home his first podium of the season? We'll find out here in less than 50 to go. Dave Gage right here, up 1 position from where he qualified. Orlando native. Says, Debbie, don't bother me. But he's on the track here tonight. Can the 404 get the job done and have some happy hour margaritas at the PR Taco Bar in Margarita Palace? Find out. Gage sitting in 4th. Overstreet gonna round out your top 5. The Salisbury, North Carolina native gonna make the trip south to Georgia. Looking to be a repeat winner. Looking to be the only repeat winner on the season. Solid top 5 right now. Overstreet's in contention. Could possibly get it done. We'll see if he can here tonight at Atlanta. Want to highlight this man right there. A little bit of damage on the right front. You can see that right side tire sticking out just a little bit. Christian Abate behind the wheel of the Bucky's number 45 machine. Was at the front of the field, was leading this race at one point in time. Fortunately, into some trouble, contact, and now Abate He'll be racing to keep himself on the lead lap here in the next handful of laps. My, how the mighty have fallen, but still a solid night here tonight. Started 17th, now sitting in 7th, so up 10 positions is Aponte. He is going to be your biggest mover of the race. So where do we go from here? What do we do from here? Where do we go? I tell you where we go. We're going to go, let's go back up there. Let's get right back here. 91 of Patrick Coro wasted multiple laps down to heavy damage on that 91 machine, and just a tough night, and I think that's going to end his streak unless there's some catastrophic failures at the front of this field. Patrick Coro's string of top 5 finishes to start the season off will come to an end here tonight at Atlanta. Only Nicholas Wing and Patrick Coro have been able to do it. So, I mean... And I hear you about the tires. And I hear you about the 12 seconds, right? We've had our eye on a little bit of the gap there with Wiggins, but this is something you got to keep in mind with Alex back there. I mean, even with Nicholas Wing and Jake Dofing sitting right there in 9th, they all were on the pit road back at lap number 27. So almost 40 laps ago. Their tires are hurt here, right? So the lap times should stabilize a little bit in comparison to those drivers that are on those same set of tires. Arga Bright also on those older set of tires. Dave Cage sitting right here. That's the man I've got my eye on. He's sitting in 3rd, just about 1 second back, but he's got 7 lap fresher tires, and he's got an extra set of tires on these guys as well. Let's keep that in mind. Well, Clark, we're not going to hate on him because he's Canadian, because, you know, what, we love bacon. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, if there is a baking that I could do away with, it's probably Canadian. But no hate, eh? I don't want none of that over here. It's all jokes, it's all good fun. We love each and every one of our brothers above the border. You know, I could see it being a strategy move if it was somewhere around like a lap 21. You know, but I just don't see the strategy move at a lap 27. I just don't. Wing and overstreet bolt to pit road. That's going to take the race lead and put it into the hands for the first time here tonight. Behind the wheel of that Top Gun pressure washing machine. Dofing to the race lead. So do we got, hey Clark, at least give me this. There you go, the 9 to pit road, the 404 to pit road. Ooh, Argo Bright sliding sideways. 404 looked a little quick there. Lola late race pit road penalty having an effect on how things shake out here tonight. Clarky, you say it's this man right here. He's just reclaimed the race lead, the 11 of Alex Wiggins. That's your call? I've got one for you. And we typically do it with about 25 to go. We're a little bit early here tonight, so hopefully we don't give him that broadcaster curse. Got that 404 of Dave Gage. Heading to victory lane here tonight. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't care if you don't want to know. I'm going to tell you why. comes into tonight's race sitting outside of the top 10. He has a pole position so far this season. What he doesn't have is a top 5. What he doesn't have is a top 10. What he hasn't been able to do, he will get done tonight. And that's bring the truck home where it should be. And for those of you that are in racing, you understand that situation. You have a truck, you're running in first, you're running in second, somebody else's problem, ends your night, and now you walk away in 20th. That has been the story for Gage. Leading a handful of laps on the green flag pit cycle, the 11 of Alex Wiggins going to come to pit road. His machine to the attention of the crew for what should be the final stop. So these guys proving me wrong. They're going to one stop, and Christian Abate looks like he's going to reclaim the race lead. How did, is this even, Christian Abate now back to the point. How did this even happen? Yen's going to have to hit pit road. So we will give up that race lead, but man, can you imagine? 22 seconds back, and now all of a sudden you're the race leader. That's why you gotta love racing. That's why you gotta be out there for every lap that you can. Persevere and push through the bad times. That type of mentality heavily on display here tonight, but a lot of drivers beaten, battered, but weathering the storm at a very tough track in the brawl for Bankhead. It's 100 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Truck Series. Abate gonna call it quits and head to pit road for his set of fuel and tires. Here goes the 3 back to the point, but he's got a new face behind him. That's Michael Overstreet. And Dave, me and you are going, coming to Orlando. And we just were bragging on you. We were just talking about how you were gonna get it done here tonight. And it looks like pit road police popping 2 of them. Jake Tofing and Dave Gage both hit with speeding penalties, long pit stops, and that has all but took them out of tonight's race and out of the picture. They're gonna need problems to get back in the front. And you know, I hear you, Adam, on maybe the 2 tire stop, but with the length he still had to go, he would have had a. He has to wait to fill the tank, so, I mean, you're waiting at least 11 seconds at that point. You might as well get those tires, especially here in Atlanta. I mean, it's just, I don't think you want to be out there. You don't want to be caught out in a blizzard butt naked. No? I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but I don't know, we've seen some crazy stuff. We've seen some late race cautions reshape the running order at the end of one of these things. We'll see if it can get done here tonight, but for the moment, it looks like we're going to continue this trend of new race winners week in, week out. If Wynn can hold on, he will be our 4th separate driver to get to victory lane. The man dicking behind him, just under 1 second back, and get the victory lane. He'll be our fourth new winner. Drivers third and fourth, previous race winners. Just a normal winter in Michigan. You know what? I've spent, I don't want to say a lot because I've only spent 2 winters in Michigan. Actually, believe it or not, in Mount Holly, and which is just a little, I believe, southeast of Byron. But my aunt actually lives in Byron. Cousin lives in Byron. Know that town very, very well. So kind of familiar with the area, but I tell you what, the wintertime, Adam, y'all can have that. I'm a good old, I'm a southern boy by heart now. Like, I like my heat. I like my summer to be nice and warm. I like my winter to be mild. I ain't trying to worry if I need 2 or 3 coats to go outside to the car. Stuff was crazy up there. All right, we're going to stop talking about that a little bit, and we're going to get into some of the remaining action here. Coming down to the end of tonight's race, we're going to have 21 to go this time by. And the action's getting closer here at the front. Dangling in front of him right here, Doug Argerbright. Looking for that first race win in the trucks. Did not go to victory lane last season while en route to that Xfinity Series championship. Can you imagine what he can do with a race win? Came into tonight's race sitting in second overall in the point standings, only to the 11 of Alex Wiggins, who's right behind him. Lap traffic coming into play here. Wing has got to hold on. Still a very long way to go. You're looking at about 30 miles of racing remaining. 19 laps to go, 30 miles of racing. That's a long way in racing. But it's going to get done quick. A little bit of a... But... Can Wing keep the truck underneath him here? Both drivers drifting up through the center of these corners. And I wonder what those tires are looking like. Nicholas Wing, pit road, lap number 65. Argerbright, pit road, lap number 66. Right there, that could be the moment. That could be it right there. A tenth and a half, almost 2 tenths given up by Argerbright, having to jump out of the gas. They're through 3 and 4. Really lost some momentum. To stay in second, he's still got his eyes on the prize on out front. Tell you what, let's go on board. We haven't been on board here tonight. Let's take a look. Trying to chase down that race leader. 2 very distinct lines. You can see Wing hugging that seam, Argerbright hugging the opposite side of that seam. This is what 6 tenths looks like, but look out in front of Wing. That is more lap traffic. That he's going to have to navigate and negotiate. A little bit of a slide through 1 and 2. That's going to let Argerbright begin to close in. Can we go? Do we got it on board with Wing here, guys? Can we get a look real quick? hear Argabright working the gas here. Let's listen down into 1 to 2. Never completely out of the throttle, but you can hear him lift, wheeze a little bit, and just kind of hold it as steady as possible right there. Deep run into the corner that time. Looked like he lost a little ground through the center of the corner. Wing looking to work his way by this lap traffic. I believe that's going to be the 28 of Brian Ternowski, who goes middle of the racetrack, now slides to the top. Oh, this could be big. Losing some ground on the corner exit. Wing wasn't able to clear him when he wanted to. Let's check back outside of the corner. This is going to get good. Final 14 to go. 13 when we cross the line this time around. Big slide for Argabright. What was gained has now been given away. Argabright with a big gain as Wing struggled to get by Ternowski on that corner exit, but then following through and making the move in the try over the 41 McDonald's machine gets a little bit light. Goes for a little slide, saves it. Oh my God. You can't tell me that these two guys ain't trying to win. Argabright is dang near sideways each and every corner exit. Need 11 laps to go. Here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, you're watching the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Brawl for Barrelhead 150. Man, race number 4, just 2 weeks away from the halfway point. 3 weeks from All-Star Night. And, you know, I don't... There it is, a little bit of contact outside the wall. Big wiggle now. And I was going to say, I don't know... necessarily, Adam, I don't know that running consistently up there next to the outside wall gives you any better odds of not having trouble with the outside wall. I mean, lap after lap, your odds are slowly working against you. You haven't had a problem yet, you will. It's a matter of time, a matter of when you can see some contact with the outside wall. Big slide then for that 41 of Argabright. It looks like the tires may be going the other way. It looks like the times may be going the other way. Wing 2/10 faster last time around. Tell you what, let's get those lap times up there, guys. Let's forget about the gaps. Let's get these lap times up there. Let's watch these two race leaders in comparison to each other. Still quicker as Wing. Yeah. Dirty air is a dirty little thing. Big trouble in a pancake. Looks like he's going to be going for a plate at IHOP. He's got pancakes piled up after that hit with the outside wall. Argabright may be broken. That's going to do it for his run at a podium here tonight. Michael Overstreet going to move his way into second. Can Alex Wiggins come from way back? Let's take a look at the gap. Can we get the gap count back on there now? Let's get that gap count I mean, he's still got a long way to go. But that 41 definitely wounded. Credit where credit is due. He has got 5 more to go. 5 of some of the toughest racing he's going to have to do. Old, worn-out tires here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He's going to see the high five from the boss man at the flag stand. Just 5 laps to go. Less than 10 miles of racing. Kept his cool. Maintained the composure. While the pressure cooker was building. Able to fend off. Able to fight off hard charging, super talented Dogger Bright in that 41 machine. Argabright with trouble, hard hit with the outside wall, immediately drops over 6 seconds, almost 8 seconds back now. All Wayne's got to do here is hit his marks and not run out of fuel. Right? If you're the crew chief, if you're the spotter, you're telling him, hey, I don't care, jump out of the gas. You got yourself 5 seconds. Jump out of the gas. Stay away from the wall. Whatever you do, run the bottom. I don't care if we give up a second and a half. Run the bottom. I don't want you near the outside wall. Down the back stretch, I want you truck length away from the outside wall. I don't want no problems. I don't want no issues. I don't want no what ifs. We ain't thinking about it. We got popsicle sticks on display here. 2 laps to go. For Wing to try to reel in his first win this season behind the wheel of that number 3 Goodyear machine. And he's got it done. He's got it done, race fans. Less than 2 miles now laid out in front of him. 3 off of turn number 4. Back across the stripe. White flag flies. Final lap here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. And what a way to do it. Battling at the end of tonight's race. Fending off one of your high caliber drivers. One of your recognized seasoned champions. He says, no problem. I got this. And across the start-finish line, your race win belongs to that number 3 machine. He's going to walk away with his first win of the season. Nicholas Wing keeping that top 5 streak alive as well. This is going to be the 4th week in a row that he has finished somewhere inside of the top 5. And this very well may put the Michigan native into the season standings overall points league. They came into tonight's race just 3 points back. I believe Wing will walk away not just with a checkered flag, not just with a check in that winners column, but with the overall points lead as well. He's going to burn it down on the front stretch, give the fans in the stands a little bit of a smoke show. Oh my goodness. What a race here tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Doesn't get much better than that. Nicholas Wing gonna top them all and walk away with the top slot. Amazing job and amazing run here tonight. Thank you for keeping with us through our technical issues at the start of tonight's race. But as always, it is well worth the wait. An amazing run here tonight in the Brawl for Bankhead 150. We're going to take a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go. For your post-race show, don't go anywhere. Race fans will be back. And back live trackside once again at the conclusion of tonight's brawl for Bankhead 150 with the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Truck Series. An amazing run. 4 cautions early in tonight's race. Gonna set a major gonna make a huge impact on the field and the drivers that were still in contention. So we're going to take a moment here as we stroll down the front stretch. We're going to see if we can grab a few words with one of our podium drivers here tonight. We're going to see if we can grab up and have a moment with the man that walked away on a podium once again, not in that top spot that we seen him last week, but he is still going to finish inside of your top 3. Michael is Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, back in the post-race interviews, man. You're making a habit of this thing after last week's race winner performance. Can you tell us anything about the car here tonight? How tough was it out there here at this old school Atlanta?
Well, if you would have told me after lap 1 that I would have finished second, I would have said you were a liar. Because there's no way I should have finished second. I got caught up in that lap 1 fiasco, and I ended up having like 5 minutes worth of damage repairs. So, yeah, it was an uphill battle for sure. But I think other people caught either more damage or damage at the wrong time. Luckily for me, it was early on, and then we had those string of cautions. I didn't really get to feel how the truck was until that last run, and it was just I had too much damage to keep up with the Doug and Nick. Doug had something happen and he ended up getting on the wall, so I passed him. Um, but yeah, man, it makes me wonder, and it makes me, you know, a little upset that that happened because what could have been. Um, because I feel like if I had a clean truck, I could have had something for Nick for sure. Um, but it is what it is. I'll take a second. Um, and we'll keep the streak going at Bristol next week.
Yeah, we've got some tough weeks of sledding coming up. The here right around the corner. We're heading to Bristol. You just talked about that one. Then off to dirt track it a little bit at Eldora before the
Yes,
All
sir.
Star break. So I mean, we've got some tough little racing coming up, and you seem to be heating up a little bit right before that All Star break. So we hope you keep this momentum running and keep things going in a positive direction. But before we let you go here tonight, any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Absolutely. First and foremost, my lovely wife for letting me do what I do. Um, everybody at KRI. Uh, Fortunately, it wasn't a great team performance this week, but we'll get all that squared away and shaken out for next week for sure. Uh, Everybody at A.S.M.R, the admins, drivers, we have fun Mondays and Wednesdays for the most part, and then you, of course, for putting on a show for us.
Well, man, I know all your competitors and your fellow admins and your teammates appreciate the kind words. We absolutely appreciate the kind words. You're smart enough, man, to thank the wife first so you don't have to worry about a frying pan later
Always.
on tonight. So, a smart man on that side of things. So, we'll see if you can keep it up, man. Congratulations. Great run here tonight. We'll see how you do at Bristol.
Thank you, sir.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walked away second. And it looks like now being freed up from another little post race interview. Let's see if we can't squeeze in a little bit of time with a familiar face in a familiar place. Back on a podium once again. He's going to walk away in third here tonight. Doug, how you feeling after an amazing night, being so close there at the end, but just having a little bit of trouble in contact kept you out of that winner's column?
It was once um once I went after when Nick pit, I was like, okay, I one lap I feel like isn't gonna be enough to overlap. 2 laps is about the max I'll go because otherwise it'll be too far to run down. And then by the time I got there, the tires were so dead. I'm just like, okay, let me try different things and kind of experiment, move around, and just nothing was working. And then um, when I got clipped on the wall there, the rear end just decided to Velcro and not let me go. So let Overstreet back by. But I knew the worst I could get was third with where I was sitting. So not to, I would rather get third trying to push for the win than just kind of sit there and get second because I'd rather attack and do my best. So
Well,
it's
we
okay.
we were riding along with you there for a moment, right around when you guys were catching up to that lap traffic. When you seen um, Nick having trouble making the pass on that corner exit, was it like a aha moment? Like I got him right here. That's what I needed. I got it now. Was there any moment in those final 10 laps or so that you had that or you felt like you had that got him moment?
Yes and no, because the whole thing is with how the tires degraded, you needed to pass on the outside, and that's quite obviously why he went up. Um, which I mean, what is what you do, take the line away so they can't pass you. So my only real hope was I saw that I forget who it was we were passing, but they stayed high. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it real easy when I pass them. All I can really hope for is that Nick messes up something, gets sideways, hits the wall, something. That was kind of my only chance because I knew is the thing that is hard about a long run at Atlanta like that. As much you can push about 25 laps in and further, as much as you can push if you go, it's such a fine edge. Like I found out when I hit the wall. So it was like, yeah, there's opportunity, but that's when I found out I went over it. So just still, I'm happy that I have, what is this now, 3 podiums in a row. I got 2 poles in a row, so I'm showing that I have the pace. I just gotta put everything together, and this race was kind of what we expected Rockingham to be last week. So we kind of got that out of the way, and then Bristol's going to be a whole show in itself. So hopefully I can stay out of chaos there. And I'm not the greatest at short tracks, but hopefully I've been showing speed and I can keep it going there.
Well, Bristol is, if I can quote one of the, I'll call him one of the greats, not one of my personal favorites, but you know, I'm gonna catch flack for this one. You can hold the hate mail. It's cool, whatever. It's Bristol, baby. Like, I mean, there's things that happen at Bristol that they only would happen at Bristol. Like, it's the only time you could probably win a race on your lid. Like, and nobody be too shocked that you do it. You know what I mean? So, Bristol, it's going to be a little unknown next week. Eldora right after that. So, some dirt track racing right in the future. Doug, you're on a roll right now. We think that race win is right around the corner, man. You keep knocking it out of the park and being on the podium. You will find your way into victory lane. Just didn't quite get it done here tonight, so tough break on that one. But before we let you go, shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
Again, as always, hopefully I can do it for the whole season. All the rest of the race of the season. Thank you, love to you for the broadcast, and then thank you, love you to this weekend is my birthday, and my fiance and I are taking a trip, so that's going to be really fun. We haven't been able to see each other for a little bit just because of how family stuff has worked out on my side. So I'm excited that. Love you to her. Thank you for being patient with me and being there for me when I talk about my crazy car stuff, even though it's in the computer. So yeah, just I don't know. Thank you for the speed also being consistent. Like when I got the poll, I'm like, oh my god, that's 2 polls in a row. I didn't expect to get last week. I didn't expect to get this week. So surprising myself. So hopefully I can kind of lock in and keep this going.
Well, man, we are looking forward to you doing that and chasing after back-to-back championship trophies. We'll see if you can get it done. We'll see if you can set another one on the shelf. But again, congratulations with a great podium finish here tonight. We'll see how you go at Bristol next week. But until then, stay safe and as always, keep it fast.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, there you have it. Final words for the man that walks away third here tonight. Doug Argo Bright gonna fall back from the pole position into that third finishing spot and into victory lane we roll. Let's see if we can't have a few moments with your race winner. Formerly behind the wheel of the 99, now a fresh look with that good wrench number 3 on the side. And he's going to bring that iconic paint scheme back into victory lane. Nick, man, how good's it feel to walk away with a race win?
I feel pretty good. Better than Dan getting his issues.
Well, man, you walked away with this win at the end. I want to talk about those last, I'll say 20 laps. It got a little bit closer, around 15 to go. Were you ever caught up in really looking in those mirrors with Doug beginning to close in on you?
I was watching everything, making sure when Doug got to me, I was running that bottom to save the tires because I knew if he wanted to pass me, I'm going to give him that inside. I'm not going to give him that outside because we tried that earlier in the race and he about wrecked on the inside. So
Well, we've got some tough races coming up here in the next handful of weeks before that All-Star break. Heading to Bristol, then off to Eldora. If you had to take your choice of the two, where do you think you're going to get that best finish from? And do you think you can repeat tonight's race-winning performance?
I think Bristol will be my best option, and I could probably do all right on Eldora.
Well, we're going to put you to the test, man. We want to see you back here in these post-race interviews, man. Congratulations with an amazing job at the end of tonight's race on the restart to get out front and keep it there, keep some tough competition behind you. Man, you earned this one all the way to that final lap. Before we let you go here tonight, though, Nick, and celebrate this race win, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
I'd like to shout out to you guys for doing what you do and the league for putting it on with all the stuff that happens. And not Cody. And all my teammates.
Well, my man, again, congratulations on the great race winning performance. We hope to see you back here in the next coming weeks, but until then, my friends, stay safe. Enjoy this win and keep it fast.
Yep, you too.
All right, there you have it. Find a few words from your race winner, Nicholas Wing, gonna walk away and bring the trophy home to Wasso, Michigan. We'll see if he can be our first driver to go 2 in a row next week at Bristol. Can it be done? Will it be done? You're going to have to tune in to find out. But for tonight, that's going to do it. That's going to be all. Nicholas Wing going to walk away from tonight's race with that top spot. Just an absolutely amazing night. An amazing run. As for more, 4 quick cautions here tonight, but we worked our way through it. A little bit of problems at the beginning of the broadcast, but as always, we work hard to bring you back to the track and back with all the action. You can hear producers hitting those buttons in the background, so you know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results of the brawl for Bankhead 150 from Atlanta Motor Speedway with the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Truck Series top spot checkered flag belongs to that number 3 of Nicholas Wing. Michael Overstreet going to slide home in second with Doug Argabright. Once again, rounding out our podium, Alex Wiggins going to come home in 4th with Jake Dofing in the Top Gun. Pressure washing number 9, finishing in 5th. Leading a handful of laps, but sliding home in 6th, the Buckies, number 45. Of Christian Abate. Dave Gage with a late race pit road penalty. That's going to relegate him back to 7th. Andrew McConville in 8th tonight. The U.S. Army's number 38 machine of Zach Miller back in 9th. Nick Merlo finishes out your top 10. Pat Chikoro in 11th, Brian Ternowski back in 12th, Jeffrey Engel 13th, 14th place tonight to the number 4 Kodak machine of Daniel Jensen with the NOS Energy 16. Of Derek Moore 15th, Matt West in 16th, and finishing out the 17 truck field here tonight, the 77 of John Timms. That's going to do it. That's going to be all for us. So as we get set to roll up the cords and cut off the lights and get ready for next week's action at Bristol Motor Speedway, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy the racing action, not just here tonight, but each and every Wednesday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So again, join us in that push to 4,000. Show the drivers love. Drop the thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash that bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself or anyone else. Back at the headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many sponsors, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So again, thank you to each and every one of you. We'll look forward to catching up with you next week at Bristol Motor Speedway. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.